What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cardano today. ADA. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends, and let's get into it. It is the 14th day of September, and here we are at about 88.8 cents with 21 minutes left in the day. Down about 4.5% on the day, dropping off a little bit, and that's okay. I think that we're finding some resistance just right here at prior resistance. I can't draw a line to save my life. There we go. Finding resistance here, right there, where we are now, prior areas of support back here. It's just a somewhat significant area to find resistance. I don't think that it's anything too dramatic. The day is kind of intense relative to some of the more recent days that we've seen. It is kind of intense, but I do believe that we're going to come out of this on top, right? We're rejecting the overbought zone here on the daily time frame, and that definitely does promote the idea of lower prices, but I don't believe that we're going to see lower prices than this low. I mean, overall, from a high to a low, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we move down to about 86.5 cents, maybe 83.2 cents at the most. But I doubt that we go below this low. I want to look at the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, then we can zoom back out, talk about the longer term stuff, what I expect by the end of this next phase up, by the end of the year, stuff like that. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button. Let's get started. All right, let's do this. Here we are on the 1 hour time frame. Looking at the RSI overall, it looks pretty bearish. Yeah. Typically whenever you've got these downtrends, whenever you got like lower lows and lower highs, you look to find support in the oversold zone paired with bullish divergence. So we'll probably get a higher low with a lower low in the price. Okay, that's kind of my expectation at the moment. 88.7 cents now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we return to prices that are just below 88.6 cents, if not even, again, as low as like 86 cents, right? 86.2 cents, I think, was the lowest that we gave it. The stochastics do look bearish as well. And the MACD, it's bearish, but you're kind of at a point where you might bounce up. But 2 to 1 bearish, I mean, you definitely could go lower on the MACD, and I wouldn't be surprised if you did. 4 hour time frame here, looking like you want to come lower. Yeah, the RSI looks like it has some unfinished business with the downside here. Maybe you bounce at like this 35 area or the oversold zone itself. Stochastics look bearish, and the MACD is overall bullish actually, but building bearish momentum at the moment. And you could come down, bounce right off this zero with these oscillators. That might make sense. That's probably what's going to happen. So between today, the 14th, and maybe the next couple of days, we should have resolution to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 15th provided the higher low from this high here. We find a higher low tomorrow, the 15th, and then we start to move up and recover. Going into the 17th, the FOMC meeting where they will announce rate cuts. On going into the 17th, will probably correct down, drop, and then continue to rally going into the rest of the month and the rest of the year. I don't think that we'll drop this much. I drew it down to emphasize it, but I don't think that we'll see a lower low or anything like that. Anything can happen. Hold on real quick, you guys. I got to clear out my throat. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I think I muted it, but I'm not 100% sure. Normally my mic is a little bit closer to me, but being here in my bedroom, I kind of just keep it on the floor actually, and I don't keep it on the desk because well, my computer makes noise, and I don't want people to hear the whirring of the computer. So, anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about you, Cardano. Here we are, looking like we do want to go a little bit lower. Again, let's see if we're looking at this from maybe a relative high to low. High to low here. What, 86.5 cents, 83.2 cents, somewhere in that area? Makes sense to me. Yeah, 83.2 cents is the lowest, 86.5 cents. I really do like that 86.5 cent area though. We'll see. 83.2 at the lowest, okay? Once we're done finding support, we should be moving up higher. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were at 96 cents or higher by the 17th of this month in the next few days. And again, a little bit of a shakeout after the announcement of the rate cuts happening on the 17th there. The daily time frame, if we're looking at this, we take an overall high to the overall low right here. Hit the 886, came down, double bottom, triple bottom, whatever. Cool. Triple bottom, man. That's such a unique thing, right? You don't typically get triple bottoms, but this one worked out pretty well. And you're having a very positive reaction. Overall, it kind of looks like a giant W pattern, right? With this little midpoint there. It looks like a giant W pattern. I believe you will continue to grow. Okay? You're moving down a little bit, but you're probably going to be finding support right here at prior areas of resistance, which that right there is at, what, 84 cents, 86 cents. That's right in the area that we've talked about just recently. So it makes sense that we're going to find support down there. And they continue to rally. I would expect that by the end of this month of September, we'll be at $1.20 to $1.08, somewhere up here. And going into October, we should be breaking out to new relative highs. That's not new all-time highs, though. Yeah, it's not new all-time highs, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. This chart kind of reminds me of Dogecoin. It reminds me of a lot of different charts throughout the cycle that have this kind of long phase of accumulation here. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if this next move was stronger than anything we've seen this cycle. I really truly wouldn't be surprised at all. Like let's just draw this. I think coincidentally that's like the same size. Yeah, it's the same size as this move. So with that in mind, this next move going into the end of the year should take you to new all-time highs. I would very much expect that Cardano will be at new all-time highs by the end of the year. And if we take that into consideration, high, cycle high, last cycle all-time high to the bear market low, high to low. Look, you even had a triple bottom here. 1, 2, 3. You like your triple bottoms, Cardano, apparently. The targets to consider for new all-time highs would be anything from $6.22 to $15. You're at 88 cents now with the prospects of going down to 86.5 cents to 82.3 cents or something, 83.2 cents, whatever it is. That's anything from like a 7x potential to a 17x potential by the end of the cycle. It's very possible that you see more growth than that. You know, the average altcoin is expected to do about a 20x or something around there. This is pretty close to what I would expect the average altcoin to do. If you were to come all the way up to your next fib target, that's like $30 to $40. The only issue with that is that's about like a 34x, 46x, 45x. I don't really know if we're going to get that out of Cardano. Maybe we do. I don't throw it out the window. I don't take it as like, I don't take it for granted. I definitely accept it as a possibility. But I would bet that you probably don't stop at targets that are below $10. And I would also bet that you probably don't stop above targets that are you don't stop at targets above $15. Maybe I should even extend that a little bit. Maybe $17, right? I wouldn't bet against these prices, but I would very much bet on these prices here, right? I would not, if someone's like, I'll bet you that it hits this price by the end of the cycle, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take the anti-bet of that. I wouldn't bet against that. But I would bet against anybody saying, no, it won't hit these prices at least. I think that it will hit anything above like $10 to $15, $16, $17 there by the end of the cycle. By the end of the year, again, we're thinking all-time high area, if not likely new all-time highs by the end of this year. But time will tell. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. I've said it all, probably. We'll see. Let's look at the weekly time frame real quick. We'll throw some ribbons on here. I've been doing that today. Let's do that. The weekly RSI does look very bullish, actually. The last couple times that you've been in the overbought zone, you can see here, once you got overbought, which would have been this week here, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before you found your high. Continued to grow after that. Once you got overbought here, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks before you found your high. So getting overbought just explains that you have about a month or longer before you find your high. We're not overbought yet. You probably don't get overbought until the end of this month. And with that, I would expect we find our next kind of relative high maybe at the end of October. And again, expecting this next move to be stronger than any move we've seen this cycle. It's very possible that we do progress into the end of the year as well, which is my expectation. Not just for Cardano, but for the whole damn market. Stochastics look very bullish, actually more bullish now than I think you have this whole cycle. The MACD is also looking very bullish, bouncing off the zero like this. You're in a very good posturing there. So all in all, on a week-to-week basis, month-to-month basis, by the end of this year, I think you've got a lot of phenomenal growth to come. I want to look at this with some ribbons on it, and then we'll wrap this video up, okay? Wrap it up with some nice little ribbons. Yeah, very positive structure here. We're looking good. Man, that's nice support that you found last week and the positive reaction that we're having this week as a result. It's great. 3-day time frame, which is less reliable. It looks bullish, but I'm not really, like, who cares? You definitely disrespected a time. The 3-day time frame for whatever on the ribbons, it's less respectable. The 3-day time frame is helpful, but with the ribbons, I found that it's not really helpful most of the time. It can be deceitful. The daily ribbon looks great. It looks very, very good, actually. What I'd like to see is that we don't close a day below 86.6 cents with this, okay? We can go below there, but let's not close a day below there, ideally, okay? Other than that, my friends, I think I've said everything I need to say. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Monthly ribbon looks ready to rock and roll, man. I mean, you've been really, really compressed, and you're about to see this thing expand. There's zero doubt in my mind that Cardano will see new all-time highs. The only question is, will it stop at like $10, $9, or will we progress all the way to $15 and beyond? The highest that I'd expect by the end of the cycle would be 30 to 40. I keep trying to end this video, man, but let's do this real quick one more time, okay? ADA. Let's do some quick math, okay? $31.7 billion market cap, okay? With $1 billion in volume, that's decent volume. $31.7 billion. Times what? 34x. So times 10 would be 300 billion. Times 30 would be 900 and is that 51 billion? I think it's 951 billion if it's a 30x. You got an extra 4x on top of that. You're talking about $1 trillion market cap or more. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think Cardano hits $1 trillion market cap by the end of this cycle. I could see a multi-$100 billion market cap, but $1 trillion market cap, I don't think so. And in which case, we're really building out the case here because you're less likely to stop in between here, right? Could Cardano see a $500 billion, $600 billion, $800 billion market cap? Sure, I believe in that, but I don't believe in it when overlaying these fibs here. Okay. I think we're really building out a case for that $15 to $17 area to be the all-time high this cycle. Look at that, and that's the golden ratio. Look, maybe $18, you guys, right above it, because typically we can wick a little bit above the golden ratio. Yeah, I highly doubt that we see anything above $18 by the, or let's say $20 by the end of the cycle. Maybe as high as 20, but something between 15 to 20 is really what I'd expect. At a bare minimum, $10. That's my expectation. But this target's at $9. Yeah. Well, with the 1-4-1-4, typically you do wick through that as well. So I got nothing else for you guys. I really do appreciate you all. This time I'm gone for real. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, all right? Take care of your family. Bye-bye.